Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and we are back with another weekly wears video. I love doing these videos. I love talking about the fragrances that I wore. I'm talking about 7 today, so if that is content that you want to see more of, be sure to like this video and subscribe. I do giveaways every 1,000 subscribers added. We just hit 17K. I will be announcing a giveaway for that milestone in a video this week. So again, be sure to subscribe. Support the channel. I truly appreciate it, but let's not waste any time. Let's jump right into it, starting with Sunday. My man Danny, subscriber, friend of the channel, friend to me, sent me this fragrance, and I did an unboxing video of a few fragrances that he sent me, just first impressions, and this was one of them. And this is one that initially I wasn't wild about. You know, it sort of reminded me, I think at the time I described it as a musky sort of old library books, old books. But he said, wear it in the high heat, and I think it's going to come alive. And I did just that, because although it is October in the New England area, we had a 77-degree day on Sunday. So I reached for this one. Scent we are talking about is Pacifique Eau de Lagon. And again, this is one that I had seen pop up at rack stores, not this particular one, but others from this line, and they did pique my interest. But I will say, guys, I have now a new opinion on this fragrance. It's a very unique aquatic. It has kind of this high-end spa feel to it. It's a little bit herbal, it's a little bit fruity, it's musky. And the musk here is very unique to me. It's just something that really stands out, not only in the air, but off of my skin as well. It's floral and fresh, which makes it a little bit unique. But, well, I should say what really makes it unique is that it's floral and fresh and masculine, which is not what I would expect, especially looking at the note breakdown. And there's also, I believe, cactus juice note, which, again, I've never smelled cactus juice, so I couldn't tell you if that's accurate here. If it's making for a more interesting aquatic type fragrance, it succeeded with this one. I really enjoy it. I think it's unique, and the quality is there. It smells great. It really does, and I can see why he said this comes alive in the high heat. I can't wait to wear it more this summer. I know it's a ways away, but it will give me something to look forward to. And I got pretty good performance for a freshy type fragrance. Pacifique Eau de Lagon. This next one, my opinion, that I wore on Monday is an overlooked scent from this particular line of fragrances. Scent we are talking about is the original Polo Red EDT. And this is a newer addition to my collection. I really, really love the now discontinued Polo Red Extreme. Really nice atomizer on here. But there's just something that is super addictive, super satisfying about the smell of this one. Sweet citrus, warm amber with a twist of coffee. And sometimes when coffee is in fragrances, I don't necessarily pick it up, or it comes across a little powdery. This, though, it smells like roasted coffee beans, along with that slightly sweet, tart cranberry, and just this addictive musk and just sweetness to it. And I find that women really love this one. I think maybe it's familiar to them. This is a 2013 release, and kind of ahead of its time, in my opinion, in terms of how the sweetness is being used here. But with that being said, I don't think it's overdone. I think later in the line, with some of the releases that came out in the Polo Red line, they went much more bubblegum sweet, and this is more fruity sweet, and I just like it. I think it's more refined. It's more for, I guess, not an older guy, but a guy maybe in his 20s and up. Yeah, I really enjoy this one. I think it's overlooked, and it's actually my second favorite in the line next to Extreme, and it's also the one that reminds me the most of Extreme. So I know that one's harder to get. I know it is expensive on the resale market. So I would encourage people to definitely go smell the original and see if you like it, because this is one that I'm glad to have in the collection, and I will be wearing more of. Polo Red EDT. This is another one that Danny sent in that same sort of unboxing video. Love this one. Scent we are talking about is Rousselle Aromatic Touch. Very interesting green, for lack of a better word, aromatic, because that's in the name, fragrance. And wow, there's something about this one that makes it stand out. And it has this herbal quality. It's a little kind of minty, although I don't think mint is a note in here, but very green smelling. This one is really easy to wear, kind of anytime, anywhere type of fragrance. With that being said, though, it's not the type of scent that you're going to be really turning many heads with. So if you're looking to sort of go out and grab a ton of attention, I don't think this is going to be the one to do it, but I like that. And this is a little bit subtle. It's a little bit understated. Nice transitional scent from day to night. Ideal scent for the office. And then maybe going out later that evening to meet friends. You might just need to re-up a bit, although I did get pretty good performance. I think it's a great versatile fragrance, which I know, if you guys watch this channel, know I appreciate here. I love fragrances that are easy to wear from day to night. You don't have to think about it too much. They just work. And this is one of them. Rousselle Aromatic Touch. This was my most recent rack store pickup that I wore on Wednesday. So if you guys have not watched that video, I will link it down below. Scent we are talking about is Blue Oud from Lattafa. And I would say of all of the more traditional smelling Middle Eastern fragrances that utilize, agarwood, oud, and saffron, this is the most mass appealing version of that. And with that comes also probably the safest one from what is traditionally considered, Middle Eastern leaning. So it has that Middle Eastern twang to it. It's undeniable. It's here. It's also going to make the scent a little more polarizing for some people. But there's just something about it that, to me, too, that just makes it very accessible and kind of easy to wear. I do find myself sort of struggling with when I would wear this, and I kind of came to the conclusion that it's not something I would typically wear to the office or a meeting, but it would be something that I would wear more casually on the weekend with friends and family. Yeah, I think there's a place for it. I think if you are a fan of agarwood, oud, and saffron, the spice, and some even ambroxan and kind of some of those more mass appealing, sweeter undertones, fresh, masculine, you're probably going to like this fragrance, but you have to like those Middle Eastern fragrances because, again, it's very much here. And to me, it's, a big part of the scent. It's not buried in any way, but, I like that about this. I really can't think of another fragrance that utilizes some of those more mass appealing vibes with the Middle Eastern stuff. So, yeah, I was kind of impressed with this and the fact that it's under $20. I mean, there's nothing here really that screams cheap when I smell this. And believe me, I've tried some very cheap smelling Middle Eastern fragrances. This isn't one. This is really well done. Blue Oud from Lattafa. This next one was an absolutely pleasant surprise. Shout out to Corey for sending this next one my way. Scent we are talking about is Mugler's Amen Phantasm. And this one is, wow. I was blown away, guys. I really, really was. This is a new 2024 release, and I couldn't be happier to now have it in the collection. This is a big-time release from the House of Mugler, and it has a very clear direction. Although it will remind you of others from the line, it definitely retains that Amen DNA. So if you've smelled any of the others, Pure Tonka, Pure Havana, Pure Malt, you're going to be reminded of those fragrances. However, this one comes with a refinement to it that I don't get from those other fragrances. And that's not taking away from those fragrances. I very much am a big fan of those. As I said, I own a few. There's just something different here that it just smells more cohesive, more put together, and more refined. It's a patchouli dominant fragrance, so very earthy, but also lending those chocolate kind of cocoa vibes that you sometimes get from patchouli with the addition of a dark chocolate accord. And I just think it's stunning. It's not too sweet. It's just perfectly done, not too much, and never leans gourmand. So it's a very interesting fragrance. It has a little bit of spice and some aromatic notes that make it smell clean and add to the versatility here. So although chocolate is a note, you're thinking, well, that's not very versatile. No, you would be wrong to think that. There's just something about it. It just works. It all works perfectly together. I am going to be wearing this one quite a bit. This is my favorite release so far of 2024 by far. This is the best release that I've tried in 2024. I was hyped on this one, so it lived up to the hype without question. And on top of it, great performance. Lasted all day on me. This one's special. They did a good job on this one. If you guys have the opportunity, definitely check this one out. Mugler, Amen, Fantasm. One thing I will say is that I'm super blessed to have supporters and subscribers and friends of the channel like you guys for sending me fragrances and trying them, just being so generous. And I continue to talk about that and highlight those fragrances. And I'm so appreciative, but I will also continue to pay it forward to more people doing giveaways. And this next fragrance was sent to me by a subscriber, Derek. So shout out to Derek. I did a video on this. And this scent is incredible. It's from Maresque. The scent we're talking about is Soul Batik. And I love amber fragrances. And one of the reasons why Derek thought that I would really like this one is because 2023, one of my favorite releases was a Boss Bottled Elixir. My mom bought it for me. I had tested it, absolutely loved it. And this does have some similarities to that scent. Warm, spicy vanilla. It's a little bit fruity with a just stunning amber base. I love amber. I love Serge Lutens Ombre Sultan. I love fragrances like this. I love Tango from Mask Milano, where that amber is something special, and they utilize that amber. They make it the focal point of the fragrance, and this is no exception. However, this one, I love the use of cardamom here. It adds that spice. It adds a little bit of fruitiness to it. I just love that blend of the cardamom, the amber, the spice, the vanilla, the smoke, incense. This stuff, guys, amazing fragrance. This is going to be a cold weather stunner. I'm going to wear this, I think, city, night out, friends, family, dinner with my wife, date night, that type of scent. This is one of those fragrances that I will be reaching for. Soul Batik from Maresque. So I decided to wear this one this week because I had seen on Venba Fragrances that they had bottles of this, which, guys, this is a really hyped fragrance, but deserving of every ounce of hype this gets. And it hasn't been available anywhere for a long time now, and it's available right now on Venba Fragrances. I will link it down below with the rest of these fragrances, and it is pricey, but I might convince you as to why I think it is worth that price. And what we're talking about is Aqua Deo's Perfumo. Now, I will say, the reality of it is that nothing compares to this fragrance. Nothing in the line, nothing in the Aqua Deo line, and nothing outside of the Aqua Deo line. This is something truly special. It just is. And I'm going to give you a couple sprays. I have about maybe 3/4 of the bottle left. So closer to half the bottle left. And oh, guys, this is just the perfect salty, aquatic, masculine take on ADG and the original, which obviously, if you're familiar, massive fragrance, legendary, game changer type of scent that over the years just didn't perform as well, started to begin to smell dated to some people. Although in my personal opinion, this is not a dated smelling fragrance. I know some people think that they're entitled to their opinion, but I don't get that personally. I think this is a classic fragrance at this point and just smells incredible. But there's just something about this one. My wife loves this one on me, and $219 for the 100 ml is steep. I completely understand that. I completely understand why someone might not want to pay that. But I think in situations where there really is no alternative, it's worth it to me. So I'm considering picking up a backup bottle, which I normally don't do. I normally don't have backup bottles of fragrances, and it's not something I typically encourage, especially if you have a larger collection. You will never go through all of that fragrance. But if you do lean towards one more than most, I know that this is one of those for a lot of people, then you might want to consider grabbing a backup bottle because, like I said, I've seen it much more expensive on eBay and places like that, and just people price gouging and taking advantage. I've had great experience with Venba, and full disclosure, I do get a small commission if you guys decide to use them, but don't let that you know, do what you need to do. I don't care if you use my link or not, or if you just go straight to the website. It doesn't matter to me. It's not that big of a deal, but I did want to make you guys aware of it. I love this fragrance. It is in my top 10 fragrances of all time, and for good reason. It's just amazing. It has all of the sort of nostalgic feelings I get from the original that I wore a ton in high school, and carries that over to where I am now in life and does it beautifully. And I love it. Aqua Deo Profumo. What a week, guys. All 7 fragrances that I wore every single day last week. As always, I love hearing what you guys are wearing, so be sure to drop your rotation in the comment section down below, whether you wore 1 or 10. I love to know what you guys are reaching for, but if you like what you saw today, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video, hit that bell notification so you are updated whenever I upload new content. But until then, have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next video.